Good morning.
Yeah, it is actually morning.
Well, you actually can't really say that to a podcast because people could be listening whatever time.
And we release it at 4 p.m.
And we release it at 4 p.m. But
Good morning,
welcome
either way.
back
Yeah.
to another episode of Net Talk. I'm Alex.
I'm Mitch.
And we're here to talk some volleyball with you again.
Yeah, what a surprise.
What
right?
a surprise. The volleyball podcast, talking volleyball. There's a lot going on in the world.
True.
Stuff's chugging along locally
And internationally.
and internationally.
Coming to a head.
Yeah.
But slaying shame.
Slaying shame. Start off with our pits and our peaks. Oh, there's a collective shame that I've teased a little bit of a guest episode. It's not coming out yet. That's a shame for both of us.
Oh, I thought you were going to shave me for my editing skills.
No,
I'm still
because we
editing it.
gave you a tough job to edit. That went a little off
We
script.
seriously did, yeah.
Went a little off script. Need to bleep some things, here and there.
It's also like you say, it's a volleyball podcast. We didn't talk that. Well, we did talk about volleyball, but there was a lot of other things we spoke about. And I was like, oh, man, we recorded for like 2 hours.
About someone's pathway, their journey.
Yeah. It's a good guest episode. You guys all.
Yeah, you'll love it. Bit of chit chat.
When it eventually comes out. I still don't know how long.
So I'll keep teasing it and I'll start giving you slowly more and more hints.
Yeah.
Do we give a little teaser? Any hint? They're an
Nah.
Australian volleyballer. Is that?
That's
we're not,
fine.
We're not connected with
Anyone
correct
else? Yeah.
yet. Enga
Yeah.
Beth. We can't get him on
Or
just
Zaitsev.
yet. Yeah.
Eventually we will. Maybe.
What can my shame
I think we all know your shame at the moment.
can be a little injury I've picked up.
Little?
A little. Actually, well, I mean, it is little because I have roughly a 2-week time span before I can
Go back to
start
playing.
reloading.
Yeah.
But it's just my right calf has
Calf sleeves can't
been
save
bad.
you.
No, they can't save me. I've been trying to do it, and then I was like, it didn't get better over the long weekend. Like, probably the issue of not being in a professional sport is I did push back seeing a physio. Like, everyone out there probably knows you know how to manage. I mean, I've played volleyball long enough. I know how to manage.
Yeah. You
injuries.
know, like the feeling.
Not that I'm injury prone, but it didn't feel like an injury.
Yeah.
So I saw the physio.
You know what's funny is you decided to go and see a physio after we went on a hike and you were like, man, this calf is killing me.
Yeah, well, I was
that
like-
was what made you go
Yeah,
see
it was.
a
It
physio.
was actually just like pain actually being there in everyday life, which you don't want to say at 24. I think that,
Wow.
that like, oh yeah, there was just a bit of pain just sitting there.
Isn't that what we said at training on Tuesday? Someone was like, a calf injury is such an old man injury to have. Like,
Yeah, but I've just never had calf issues. And then I saw a physio and they actually reckon there might have been an actual incident because there is a membrane that passes over the medial side of your shin and your soleus muscle. I don't remember the name, so I'm not a good listener.
you're literally studying this.
I was studying this. I'm not studying it anymore.
I agree.
That's why it's all gone out of my head from 2 years ago. That is just like weak and or
Non-existent.
missing. So it's like,
Missing.
it doesn't change how you would manage it at all. But
Yeah.
she was just surprised when I was like, I don't think there was an incident. It just kind of built up, probably played
Probably
through it.
warnable.
Well, it was my other calf that was a bit tight at Warrnambool.
And then maybe
I
you,
think it was
like,
maybe after. And then
compensated?
sort of, maybe. But she said that doesn't really happen. But then played through it in that 5-setter that we had and was very sore after that against Mazenod. So that was probably a game that we shouldn't have needed to play through it. But
No comment.
Had to do it a little
Well,
bit.
we'll talk about it
Yeah.
today. But yeah.
Yeah. So it was quite sore. I've seen him.
You're on the plan.
I'm on a plan.
Yeah,
I've
you're
got to
good.
fix it.
Yeah.
Even though
do.
I've got like a camp coming up as well that I'm trying to get good for. I'll have to try hard. And she's like, oh, so you give me a time frame. And I was like, yes, please save me.
Exactly 1 week.
Yeah, exactly. 1 week. Can I jump next week? And she's like, maybe ask me if you can load manage a little. And I was like, oh, okay.
What's load management?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Slay. NFL draft time.
We're talking about volleyball today.
Yeah, it doesn't start till tomorrow, but I just like throwing it out there that like, because I always send you a picture of something of me like watching it.
Yeah.
And you go, why are there so many fucking people watching a draft?
Legitimately. But it's massive. Like, it's what people, it's what,
Yeah.
would you say that is one of the, not main reasons, but that's a big reason why the NFL is quite big in like these random sports communities is because the drafting is, and the fantasy side is like,
Yeah.
is that what you're talking about? Like,
Yeah. Well, like, no. Like the real leagues
the
draft.
real league draft.
The real leagues draft
I can't keep up.
is always so massive. And I think it is because like each town has an NFL team.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not the major town of the state.
So they want
And
to see their
They do the draft in different areas. And but there's always tens of thousands of people standing in a field watching them read out a name.
hoping it's the country hero.
Yeah.
Country
But
team
like
hero.
no other sport does it to the public like that.
Does AFL not do
Standing there, I
that?
don't think. Does AFL have it? Usually it's like the players in a room.
Yeah, that's true.
But to have it in a massive open stadium with people yelling,
Not
"That's
quite as big."
crap."
Yeah.
It's just always wild.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm so far into NFL. Yeah.
Yourself? How have you been, Mitchell?
I'm grumpy and I've got a coffee here because my shame is my coffee machine broke. Like it's just started exploding like a week ago. And then I flew to Queensland and did some stuff in Queensland and then came back and it just like didn't magically fix while I was gone and I was really annoyed about it. So
You're just hoping one of the fairies in the house will fix it for you?
correct. Yes. It didn't. So I had to return it. It was still under warranty. It's only 9 months old. Like what's going on? So I get a refund for it.
It just immediately went into my head like that Australian skit where he's like, I've got this magic coffee table. I just throw stuff on it and it's gone by the next
wife
day.
is there like,
Yeah.
are you fucking serious right now? Yeah.
And then she leaves. She must have fallen on the coffee table.
Yeah, I thought Kate would just fix it magically.
yeah.
No, we were both like, "Oh, this coffee machine's the death of us." But
Yeah.
we get to send it to Ozpost, get the refund from Amazon, and we're like, "Cool." It's like
Hunt for a nicer one?
It's like
or-
$500. We'll get $500 back, but then we'll add another few $100 and get a really good one.
Yeah.
So that kind of feels all right. I have 2 slays. I forgot to write the other one, so you're going to be like, "What?" Slay 1 is. I don't know. I was talking to my housemate yesterday, and not a lot of teams apparently do the baking roster. It must be like a Renegades women's thing because we definitely don't do it. And I feel like we don't do it because one of us would bake something and the whole team would get food poisoning.
Yeah, we'd all be out the next week.
Yeah, like none of us would return.
Yeah.
And that's why we probably don't do it.
No.
But every women's team I've ever coached at Renegades
Has done
the baking roster.
Yeah.
Anyway, so at the start of the year, one of the players did a big baking roster, and I didn't really look at it too hard because I was like, "Oh, it's good. Good on you girls." Like, yeah. Put me on it. I was like, "Okay." Except she also put what I had to make. She put a wedding cake on there. I was like,
She gave out some difficult requests.
she really did give out
Normally
some-
it's come on, pick your own.
It's like
8 out of
cookies,
10
brownies.
people make brownies.
Yeah, yeah. The majority of seasons brownies.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, I can't get out of this now. And I left it way too late.
Yeah.
So shame to me for not doing it on the round I was supposed to do it on. But then we did a video session last night because we don't have our venue at the moment. So we just like caught up and had dinner. And so yesterday I made a wedding cake. It was not really like a wedding cake. It was just a 3-layered cake and some icing and stuff. Kate helped a little bit. Not as much as anyone would have thought.
Oh, okay.
Everyone probably thinks that she did majority of it, but she actually didn't do the majority of it. There's a video online to prove. Well, it's not online. There's a video on her phone to prove it because she filmed me doing it for like an hour and a half.
Oh.
My other slay can be I went to Queensland to help out my little sister with her like national basketball championship thing, and they won. So
You said you've only ever seen her win, so you're a good luck charm.
I must be.
Or
Except,
you
for,
only
except when
ever-
I'm playing, apparently.
Yeah.
'Cause I've lost a lot of grand finals. But anyways, national and local scene. The only thing national is the Pirates women's are doing the ABC Champions League.
They're done.
They are also finished. Yeah.
So it's a new thing though. I mean, there is normally the ABC like cup. Usually,
like
right? There's a
Continental
tournament.
Cup or something. Yeah.
But now there's a ABC Champions League.
And you know what?
Mimicking it.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I think it's great for this side of the world to have something like that.
Yeah.
My only complaint, but it's early, so it's hard to have complaints.
Yeah.
My only complaint is it's really short.
Yeah.
Like the Pirates women going over there to legitimately play 2 games and
Yeah.
come home. I'm pretty sure they're done.
Yeah,
I can't see.
I think so because it was 4 pools of 3 on the women's
Yeah.
side, which means you play 2 pool games and then
And then you're
there's a
done.
crossover. I wonder if there is a consolation, but we couldn't see anything in a fixture.
No.
Maybe they get some friendlies while they're over there because if you're making the trip, you might as well organise
Maybe some training
things.
camp. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
too sure. But they had a pretty rough time, it seemed like.
Yeah.
But credit to them. I think what a lot of people maybe don't realise is Australia are massively disadvantaged compared to most Asian companies. So the Filipino team that they played is a professional team.
Yeah.
The other team that they played, someone told me about them. That, like, they're also a professional team.
Yeah,
So they're playing against professionals and they're not professionals.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't spoken to any of the Pirates women, but I'm assuming it'd be a similar AVL situation to us. Train 2 or 3 times a week maximum and hope to get in some S&C in your part-time.
Our AVL season also finished 3-4 months ago. Longer.
When did it?
Wait,
September?
Or
a while
October.
ago. Like
It
6
started
months
to-
ago.
Yeah, so longer. And unless they're playing club together, I don't know how Pirates work. Maybe they do a bit more regular training for longer.
Yeah.
But like, it is also a commitment. They were missing a couple players.
Yeah.
You don't really have the professional
No,
stuff.
like, you just not you. Like,
Yeah.
like one of the first things, I can't remember her name, and I really am annoyed at myself for it. There was a girl on the what was the first team name? The high speed spikers,
High speed hitters. Yeah.
high speed hitters. Yeah, I love the team names from those other countries.
PDT, I think it was as well. PDT
Yeah.
high speed hitters.
She was jacked.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God. Like, you could tell that these girls were professionals.
Yeah.
Like, they're in the gym, and she could hit the ball very, very hard. Credit to the Pirates. I thought they kept up really well, all things considered. And also knowing it's quite a young team that's over there. Like, I think there was mention of some 17-year-olds, some 18-year-olds on the team that were playing. So, but again, yeah. So if anyone's wondering, like, oh, you know, we're not that good, it's like,
yeah.
okay, but we don't have the resources that some of those other countries have. The other criticism, and I wonder if you would agree, I like what AVC are doing with the Champions League, but and this is criticism for VA, but if you think about how this works, it's just the kind of the nature of it. And it's kind of a byproduct of the Australian geographic situation.
Yeah.
We're actually doing it wrong in the sense that every team there plays a club season, and then the top 3 or 4 teams go into this Champions League, whereas everyone in Australia plays a club season, then plays a 7-week AVL season with different team members, different coach, and then they go into the Champions League, as opposed to what it probably should be, which is the top 2 teams from each state. That should be the AVL. And then the top 2 winners from that then go to does that make sense?
Yeah, it's whether you boost like the club championships tournament.
Yeah.
It does exist.
Yeah.
It's not very
Well,
utilized
it's the same
by like
time
top
as
players.
AVL.
It's the same
Yeah.
time as AVL, so people choose to play AVL over the other. We just don't have the length of league that other countries have.
Yeah.
And this isn't anything to discount the like Pirates women, because they were the best team at AVL.
Absolutely.
But they also weren't the best team over the regular season of the AVL. Yes, it's only 7 matches, but like, did they finish third
They finished
or fourth?
And they had to play a top seed, and then they won
Yeah,
the
and then they
semi.
and then you just win your 2 games, and you're the team that gets nominated.
Yeah.
It's whether like Australia just doesn't have that system yet, where that really shakes out, because it's not even a best of anything series. It's do or die in the
It's just
semis.
on the day.
Yeah,
But I think the point is, like, these other teams that we're up against, they play together for 10 months of the year.
Yeah.
And then we got to play them. And they're also professionals. They get to do this all the time. Whereas the Pirates women and the men who are going to be there in a couple of weeks.
yeah.
Next
Start of
week.
May. No, 11th of May, was it?
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks away then.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
I think PVL literally starts this weekend. So they're going to be playing in their club team and also training in a different team with a different coach, and then going over to play.
Yes.
Like, it's just, it's tough. It's really tough for these. But yeah, that's what's going on. International scene?
International scene. There's a lot going on. Everywhere's in their finals. Couple are wrapping, but like the Bundesliga has been really good to watch on the men's side. They're in their semis. Both semis. We were like looking at their semis. They're both the Bundesliga semi-finals work as a best of 3, which is a bit interesting, a bit short, because as soon as they get to the final, it's best of 5. But you got to get through so many games. Like, it's fair enough.
I do think the Polish league, they play more games overall than the Italian league.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they have to
It equals
shorten
out,
it before VNL sort of and CEV kind of start overlapping.
Yeah. But I put a little bit of a late nighter last night
Yeah.
watching Zavierce Warszawa
And falling asleep.
and falling asleep in the fourth set when I was like, okay, I'll just fall asleep. I'll close my eyes. I still had the sound playing.
Yeah.
But there was no commentary.
But shout out to our regular guest, Sketch, who was... We were watching a game the other night. We were
yeah.
is that Sketch? And then we were like, it is Sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Sketch.
Send it through. Net Talk superstar.
Yeah.
That's
our claim to fame.
Yeah. Ours is that we know him. But it was a really good game to watch. And it was probably one to go back and watch if you're thinking about watching for a team where nothing's really going right. Warszawa sucked. Nothing was going right. They only had one hitter that was actually doing anything. Linus Weber was the only hitter doing anything for the first 2.5 sets.
Yeah, right.
Left sides were stinking it up. And a difficult thing to navigate is the international play limit. You're only allowed 3 internationals on the court at one time.
Yeah.
And one of the internationals is a pass hitter and their backup international is a pass hitter. So I guess they got lucky that Kevin Tilley was probably the one that you would sub because he was stinging it up.
Yeah.
And Tobias Brand, a German player, came in and was absolutely cracked. Like, he was actually really, really good.
You got stat lines? Or
I have his stat line. Let's go to the total because he only came in from the third set, started third set onwards.
He kept them alive. They did end up losing in 5, right?
They did lose in 5, 16, 14 in a fifth. Tobias Brand came in from the third and was there, hit 21 balls, 11 kills. So 52% kill efficiency, kill percentage, 42% kill efficiency. For an outside coming on while
2 sets cold.
Across the first 3 sets or the 2 sets, Kevin Tilley was negatively efficient.
Yeah.
And Salzapuk was, I think, a flat 0% at the end, going into the third. So it's like, okay.
We need something here.
Left sides are getting screwed.
Yeah.
And I was like talking about the depth. That's a international level pass hitter as your backup. Plays for Germany at VNL and he's pretty solid. But
It is good. Yeah, very good.
He also came on and passed really well. He was passing 47% positive on 19 balls, which is the whole team over the whole game was at 31% positive. Across the first 2 sets, I think they were at like 24% positive.
Bloody hell.
Which,
Zavierce
were serving really well. They got a lot of aces and whatnot to begin the game. Aaron Russell, I think, opened the game with an ace and a bunch of forcing negative passes.
Yeah.
But like as a coach, probably navigating that, I think he used both his timeouts in the first set by 10 points. Like it was 10-4 and he'd already burned through both timeouts. And then you can't do anything as a coach for the rest.
Yeah.
But he obviously gave him a bit of spray. You can hear a little bit of that through the broadcast.
Can you actually?
They always went. It's like funny because I guess they must have enough Polish players that it was in Polish.
Yeah.
The couple that you can hear.
Yeah.
Versus the Zavierce was in English. Their coach spoke a lot of English, but I guess maybe
isn't he?
He's
German?
Polish.
Oh, but they've
Polish,
got.
but I gave it a little look.
They got a bunch of
internationals.
players. Yeah.
Maybe they're a bit lazier and they're not learning Polish, the Australian over there, because Luke Perry had a pretty good game as well.
As usual.
But so that series goes to 1-1 because
it only goes best of 3.
Yeah, only goes to best of 3. So there'll be one more match on that. And then the other game that didn't catch because it was then well into the early morning, the start, JSW Luke Lublin, which is also 1-1.
That's literally just Thomas Fonau versus Leon.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing. I haven't got to watch any of these. The ones that I did watch, though.
Leon's on, he's on that as well.
Yeah, Leon's on Luke Lublin.
Yeah.
The only ones I've watched, and the women's side for the Italy and Turkey, they're done. They're already done.
Yeah.
They were demolishings.
They were
Caneliano absolutely destroyed Milano 3-0. 3-0, I think it was 3-0 in all 3 matches too. So, they just put on an absolute clinic pretty much every single game. And, Milano... I watched 2 out of 3 of these games, and I will say that I think Milano tried to overuse Agonu. And you've got one of the world's best opposites on your team. I don't think she can be solely your answer.
Yeah.
And she is not going to, no one, I don't think, in the world is going to by themselves beat this Caniliano team. And I feel like they were, because I think in the first match, they lost in 3 and Agonu had like 35 points.
Yeah.
And like you still lost in 3. You know what I mean?
I hate this critique because I've heard it thrown a couple of times, but it's like Agonu as well with that much weight was trying to do a bit much at points.
Yeah.
It's a bad critique because she did have 30 whatever points and you have to do most.
And you're
But
expected
it is
to
like
as well.
when you're expected and you have to do that much, you're going to miss down the line a couple of times. And like, it's just so rough.
There was one that she missed down the line that was out of system and she goes to bounce and she misses by like this much.
Yeah.
It was a massive bounce and it's like, rough,
And it's like it's like a critique is like, oh, you didn't have to go for all that. And it's like, well, you kind of do.
Yeah, no.
But like,
like Caniliano is absolutely one of those teams where if you give them a free ball, you are not winning that point. Like you're just not winning that point. But that was like, if any women's team player, coach, anyone's just curious, go and watch Caniliano play and just watch how they force other teams to play a certain way that suits them. It's mental and physical domination all the way through. It's wicked to watch. And Vakif Bank wins the Turkey tournament, the league rather. They played Azerbaiján in the final, I believe. Didn't get to watch this because I still can't really work out where to watch, but I watched enough of the game through highlights. On the Vakif Bank Instagram page.
Finally, maybe it's the first time I've been locked in enough. Is like you're at least finally getting to watch highlights of these games and see them play in CEV because there's 2 Turkish teams playing in the quarterfinals of CEV at the moment. Fenerbahce and Vakif Bank are playing each other in CEV.
Exactly.
It'd be so funny going from playing each other in your local leagues like finals to then just have to go.
Yeah, and then
CEV play again.
We're back. Yeah. But they, to be fair, they are the 2 best teams in Turkey, I think. Vakif Bank, for anyone who's interested, Kira Van Rijk is like becoming one of the coolest opposites to watch at the moment. Like she's so explosive and she's sort of undersized a little bit. Like she's still 185 or something. But like considering how big Agonu is and how big Melissa Vargas is and Tiana Bostovich, I think that's how you pronounce that name, compared to Kira Van Rijk, but how explosive and dynamic that Kira is. It's wicked to watch her. And she also serves, I think, harder than the other 2. She serves the ball so hard. Yeah. And for the men in Italy, we are just patiently waiting on Perugia and Lube to figure out who's going to play Trentino. Yeah. Trentino just patiently waiting for them to finish.
Micheletta's just hit his 40 balls and just goes, I'm done. I get the rest time because this is a best of 5 series, correct?
Yeah, it is. So they are playing their 5th match. I think it's actually tonight or tomorrow. By the time this comes out, it'll have been done.
But I think their last match was the one that we caught with Sketch.
Yes,
commentating.
He was commentating.
And Civitanova just absolutely pumped Perugia.
Yeah, they. I've heard this comment before about Lube, but they just are so good at using the pieces they've got and figuring it out, and just always being that team that makes it to finals. Yeah. You look at Perugia versus Lube and you're going to sit there and probably say like Perugia are way more stacked, but Lube are the ones in the driving seat for these 2 matches that they've won now.
Yeah.
And if you watch them play, it's unreal.
It might just be like your 3 most used players are also your 3 best, but you can't have them all on the court at the same time because you have Ishikawa, Semenuk and Plotnitsky.
Yeah.
Ishikawa came on to halfway through that game. Not sure why, like he wasn't starting, but he hasn't been starting for that team very often.
No.
But they couldn't do anything on the left side. Ishikawa came on, still couldn't get past the block, but started using it a lot. Like started playing off hands, doing a lot of the other stuff to probably still keep their left side into it enough.
And I feel like, I feel like Perugia, at least from the games that which is only that 5-setter and then half of the previous match. They also, and this may be credit to Lube, this may be just Perugia maybe going into like their old ways a little bit of maybe expecting a bit too much and not having to go and earn it. But like they just don't look like they're playing particularly well at the moment. Like, as we were sort of talking about, all three of their top tier world class outsides are not playing like top tier world class outsides.
Yeah.
Like right now, you got Alex Nikolov and who's the other? Oh, and
Botolo
on the other side, who are playing like world class
Alex
outsides.
Nikolov looked so amazing in that 3-set, in the 3-zip win on.
It just looked like he could do no wrong
last week. Yeah, he was just swinging
as hard as he could at everything.
I don't even think he just he would have hit. Wait, let me see if I can get the stats up really quick. He was 77% efficient.
As an outside.
He hit 18 balls and he had 14 kills. He had 0 errors as well. I remember seeing that. 0 errors.
That's disgusting.
He was just swinging and it was coming off gold.
I'm so excited to see Bulgaria play.
Excited. Because he didn't play VNL last year.
Because he had his knee or shoulder.
And Simeon's finally, I was going to say he's finally got some international experience. He did get that at VNL and now he's just tearing up some. And I
want to see Simeon either turn and burn or set Alex, and that's just their game plan.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right. Moving on, though, for what everyone really is here for.
The meat and the potatoes.
The State League.
Yeah.
The Victorian State League round 3 results. Start with the men?
Start with the men. We opened up your Saturday mornings.
With a stinker. An absolute
Whoa. We didn't all have a stinker.
I had an absolute stinker.
Yeah.
You guys played all right the first set. We were still missing. We're missing our main outside, our main middle, and missing anyone else?
Our
main setter. Yeah.
But we played Masnod. Credit to him. We might have thought, hey, we can.
Yeah, we can coast this.
I was hoping to load manage. I gave Gus a little wink pre-game saying.
I was hoping to stay off.
Yeah, well, I was hoping you'd come on. And then so we had a fine start. I think we won the first set, didn't we?
We won the first set, and then we made some changes. I came on in the second.
Yeah, you actually got torn up. Sorry, buddy. No, it was the worst situation to come into, though.
I think it was like we went on. We didn't pass well, and we had 2 fresh outside. Well, all 3 of our pin hitters were fresh. And I think Cam's probably played the most with me, so I think he felt comfortable throwing me the ball, and I just wasn't warm, and I was terrible.
But he was still throwing you the ball in bad situation, and it was like, inside.
But like,
block.
If I'm warm, normally I'm good. Normally I'm good at those situations.
Yeah.
But I was straight up bad.
But that Masnod block's actually really good as well. Big blocky Chester as well was shutting down our left sides. But then it's like, you come on and you get a tight set, so you like try and just play, you get blocked. Okay. And then you get a bad set and it's like, error. And it's like,
I'm pretty sure my first 3
everyone
points,
has one of those, you know?
Yeah, you started the season with that.
Yeah, I did.
I think the first 3 points, I got an out of system ball that almost touched the roof at Masnod, and I was like, this is so high on my line. And I went early and I was like, not like this. So I tried to drop shot it over the block. It didn't even make the net.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
And then the next one I got blocked, and the next one I swung out. And I was like, we're off to a good start here.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It was probably our issues, like we probably fell into being a bit predictable.
An error
it was kind of like maybe everyone sort of alternated, because it felt like whoever was on was getting a lot of the ball. Like left side was getting a lot of ball, middle was getting a lot of ball, I was getting a lot of the ball. But that's also like, if you just alternate, it's a very tough situation, because like I felt like I got froze out of the game for some of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I haven't hit this is a must-win set, and we haven't run any ball through the right side, and we're at 18 points. And I was like,
But credit to Maz, like they actually served the ball really well. They blocked us really well. Like that was something I think a lot of teams don't block us that well, but Masnod blocked us really well. And I think we were sort of like, we actually need to do something about this.
Yeah.
And we didn't until the 4th, 5th set. But we got it done. I think we all just felt bad about it because it was a bit jarring. Like it was, some of us were on, then we were off, then we were on, and it was just like, let's just go out there and get it done. Oops. But we opened up with.
Got a win on the ladder. That's all right.
That's all that matters.
That's kind of what it felt like we were slogging for at the end. We're like, we just still need to get a win.
We still need to get this done, yeah.
Next game of the day out at Maroondah Neds, probably a big matchup.
I think we said this was the game to watch.
I saw some highlights from it.
I did too.
Someone saw a YouTube video out there, someone posted, and I was like, I swear I get to watch the game. the top comment is like, ease up on the zooming in because it's like someone tracking and zooming in back.
Really?
And it's like, okay, that's but you still get to see enough of the game, so it's still good. But that was like a highlight reel, a highlight reel of every point. So there's a lot of points that aren't amazing.
I think you sent me that actually, and I was like, oh, this is.
But that was a 3-1 win to Heidelberg.
Yeah, Heidelberg Yarra. I don't think you said who it
Oh,
was.
sorry, Heidelberg Yarra. The big
Heidelberg
matchup.
Yarra. So yeah, good on Yarra for taking the set. I think we all know that when Heidelberg come to play, they are extremely tough.
They're looking
to beat.
Really strong because it was like had a little bit of a sad night and rewatched our grand final from last year, and it's like, okay, it's just Manjot and Canny hitting 100% of the balls.
Now they got depth. They got serious depth.
The other
now.
stick hitter, amazing. Their opposite, amazing. And it's like, oh no.
Because we played them against in a local Punjabi tournament they invited us to late last year, and they had those guys there. And I remember we were all sort of
Well, they were
saying,
still missing, I think, the opposite that played with them against Yarra. I don't think he was there at that tournament because he was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he was playing with one of the other teams.
But I just remember like we were just like, oh, these guys are going to be even tougher than usual.
It'll be like, because we got close in the grand final and it was just like alternating a little bit between us, but now it's like, oh, we'll have to fire it at five positions. Everyone will have to be playing.
The only way to beat them is everyone needs to be firing on all cylinders at all times, or at the right times.
Which is hard to do if you see them in your schedule. If you see them pop up in your schedule, everyone needs to have a good training week. Everyone needs to.
I think everyone comes to play because you know it's going to be a tough match. It's just whether you can put it all together and whether you can weather their serves is probably the other thing.
Yeah.
Like they serve really, really tough. But next one, Danong Phantoms. Phantoms cleaned up by the looks of it. 0-3. This is their first of the double header. So they probably, we'll just go to the next one. They probably used a lot of their energy in this one because I think then they lost to Eastside in 5 after that. The 2 games a day is rough, especially when they're that close together.
Yeah, with a 12:30 game, it was a 3-zip, but you probably still assume it goes for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So you finish at 2:30 and then you're playing again at 4:30.
Yeah, you've only got an hour break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To do your stretching and whatnot. So, but Eastside's been putting up some good matches so far.
Well,
5-setter with Heidelberg, wasn't it?
2 5-setters.
And beating Phantoms in the 5-setter. So,
yeah.
really, really good.
So moving on to the women's side. Are we opening up this one as well? No, we are not.
No. It was,
sorry, let me get this up.
It was Monash playing Latrobe with a 3-zipper. Monash has been looking really good.
Latrobe being the new team in the league. This is completely fair matchup, I think.
Against one of the
probably
teams.
one of the best teams in the league at the moment. Not much to say. I wasn't there, didn't hear much about this one. And then the next game, Danong Phantoms. Danong, probably one of the other top 3 teams in the league, playing Phantoms, who, again, unsure whether they had one of their main players, Eliza Cully-Hines, or not. Didn't hear much about this game, but that was 3-0 to Danong at SVC. Then it was my game, or our game, the Prem 1 women. 3-1 Mazenod. We played really well. We did what they were probably hoping to do to us, is serve really hard and serve good spots.
Yeah.
And we weathered that for a set. So the set we lost was the third set, and they served us really, really well. I think I did what the Zaviochi coach did, or the Warszawa coach did, which is I used both timeouts before, then we were 12-2 down.
Yeah.
Because they just kept serving.
You didn't do it in the first set of the game.
True.
It was the third set, wasn't it?
Third set.
I'll leak your secrets, kid. It's just what every team always works on. But I think the team's transition ball was a lot better this game. Yeah. When you bring service pressure, you also need to bring the transition play skill, because you can't serve hard and just expect to win the point. You have to block well and move defensively well, which I think those girls did well that game, and it was a tough matchup for Mazenod that week. They've been one of the better teams of the league as well, very competitive. They've had a couple tough matchups and losses.
Season, but we probably match up really well against them, actually. I think we actually do, other than the fact that our serve reception can at times be weak, shown at that third set. But yeah, the girls did really well. I was impressed with our girls just from being a really young team and losing that third set to then come back in the fourth and bounce back mentally and go and win. So that was really good. Next game on the list, I caught the end of this, but didn't really get a whole lot of it. The VFUM versus Cobras. VFUM just putting on a clinic and proving that they are a top team this year. I'm hearing the same thing over and over again. They just get an insane amount of defensive touches and then they don't make offensive errors.
Yeah.
Which is really, really hard to beat. I think they are 0-3 all 3 games that they've won.
Yes. I was actually just looking at that ladder. Yeah, they have VFUM's won. I think and
they've lost no
on the
sets.
ladder. They are top of the ladder with 100% set percentage. They've won
right.
set 9, lost 0. Because I was just caught out. I was like, I'm pretty sure they haven't dropped a set.
Yeah, they haven't. Yeah.
And then Monash is actually sitting second, and they've only dropped 1 set. So
that was to Dandenong though.
Yeah,
So like
that was fair enough. And we'll see. VFUM, I don't think have actually had a top.
I don't think they've
matchup
played
quite yet.
They haven't played like a top 3 team yet.
Yeah, but they will get to it. They play Heidelberg next week and then Dandenong after. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see some
how they shake up.
Yeah. And then the last game of the day was Phantoms second match of the doubleheader, which is against VIP. They dropped a set, again proving that VIP can do it if you allow them to and give them that extra confidence opportunity. But Phantoms went through and cleaned up 3-1 at, 4:30? A long day for the Phantoms teams that come and travel, and they're good on them for, again, I don't think I could do that. That's an hour break and then you're playing again. We're too old for that.
Too old for that.
Your calf's too cooked for that.
I would definitely be sitting.
Yeah. All right. We will now get to our sponsor for this week's episode. This episode is brought to you by Andor Financial.
Now, as some of you know, a good friend of ours, good friend of the show, and our Melbourne Uni Renegades captain, Michael Cirillo, has recently started his own mortgage broking business.
Not only this, but Mike and Andor Financial have committed to supporting and sponsoring Net Talk for the indefinite future.
If you didn't know, Mike has spent the last 10 years in the finance industry in both financial planning and mortgage broking roles, and is super passionate about empowering people to take control of their financial future.
So you, or if anyone you know is in need of a home loan or would like to review their current lending situation, reach out to Mike and Andor Financial.
You can find out more information in the footnotes or description down below.
Thank you again to Andor Financial for sponsoring Net Talk. And we're back.
From a late throw to the sponsor, because we talked about so much international volleyball.
There was a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot going on. We're going into our round 4 matchups.
Before that, though, I want to talk about. Sorry, I threw you under the bus. I want to talk about some of the ladder standings at the moment, real quick, just so people are like listening.
Shake
and aware.
out where see.
So on the men's side, Phantoms are top with 3 wins, 1 loss. That is not mostly due to, but like a factor is they played 4 games. Everyone else played 3 or 2.
Yeah.
Yarra are second on the ladder with 3 games, 2 wins, 1 loss. Heidelberg are third with, but they've only played 2 games.
Played 2 games.
So 2-0 essentially. Monash, same thing. They've only played 2 games, 2-0. Then it's us. We played 3 games. We're 2-1 because we lost to Monash in 5. Eastside are below us at 6th. They are 2-1 also.
It's a lot of teams on their 2 wins, 1 losses. It's good to see that the losses are spread around, but as the game sort of equalises, more people have their buys. Yeah.
And then it's VFUM, they've only played 2 games, 1-1. Latrobe, 2-0, as in losses. Mazenod, 3-0. Dandenong, 3-0. Cobras, 2-0. So when you're looking at the ladder, probably looking more at the sets for and against, because you only get 4 points for a win and nothing else.
Yeah.
So just FYI. Women's side is a touch more interesting. Again, it's a little bit tough because there's so few games, but it's still interesting. So VFUM are at the top, and that's because of they haven't lost a set at the moment. Monash are next, but they've lost 1 set. Phantoms are next. They've played 4 games. They've won 3, lost 1. So they're all tied for the same amount of points, those top 3 teams. Yarra played 2 games. They're 2-0. Dandenong played 3 games. They're 2-1, losing to Monash. We have played 2 games. We're sitting 6th, 1-1. Heidelberg beneath us, they're also only played 2 games, 1-1. And then Cobras, they're 1-2, having played 3 games. And then VIP, Mazenod, Latrobe, having played 3 games each and all 3-0. So that's the ladder standings.
That's the ladder standings. Everyone, we'll wait till the games equal out a little bit. But like, it's good to see the set percentages and whatnot. Because like even on the women's side,
it's interesting.
Yarra's only played 2 games. They're sitting at 4th, but they also haven't dropped a set.
Yeah.
So they've been really efficient in their matchups. They haven't had any of the top ones yet. We'll see when they get competitive how it goes, but they're looking good.
All right. Women's matches for this week. We've got a heater of a first match, I reckon. Dandenong and Yarra. I think this will be a really good match to watch. I think I'm looking at this. Yeah, if there's any match you're going to watch this weekend, it should probably be this one.
Yeah,
this is at 12:30 at Maroondah.
This is the Anzac Showcase match. Maroondah Nets is doing the Anzac round this year.
Yeah.
I think they'll be doing all their Anzac proceedings before this game.
Yeah.
And then kicking it off. But Dandenong, that'll be good because Yarra will be. This will shake out that ladder.
If both teams have all their players, like main players and stuff like that, it'll be a really good match to watch, I think.
Yeah.
And these 2 teams play relatively similarly. I think Yarra have maybe a little bit more depth than Dandenong currently, but Dandenong have maybe a touch more experience.
Yeah.
50-50 on that. You could go either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would definitely be a game to watch. At the same time at SVC is us versus Latrobe. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about this. I'm interested. We've got a lot of players missing, but I still think playing one of the newest teams in the league, I would be hoping our experience can prevail and prove like, if we can show some discipline, we'll probably be fine. I would like to see Latrobe give us a tough time, but also like not really.
Yeah, you never want to say as a coach, but then it's also like, makes your team better.
Yeah,
it's
it makes the team better.
Got to force it. It makes the league better.
Yes,
it does got enough of your core.
I have enough of the core. I just don't have a lot of the depth I would normally like to have this weekend. It'd be good to see, what the new team is like as well, because I actually haven't got to see them play. Next match is at Maroondah Nets at 2:30. That's Cobras and Mazenod. This will also be an interesting match, I think. These 2 teams are fairly similar in the way that they play, I think.
Both very strong servers.
Mazenod are probably a bit stronger, but Cobras play pretty decently out of system anyways. So I think it'll be an interesting matchup. And then the last game of the day, VFAM versus Heidelberg. This will be another game to watch. So if you're at SVC and you can't get to Maroondah, this is probably the game to watch.
In that afternoon, in the 2:30 slot?
2:30 slot. So they'll be after the Renegades and Latrobe. So I think VFAM would just be like, Heidelberg are quite an aggressive offensive team. So it'll be a matter of like, can VFAM still get the amount of digs that they get and translate them into some decent offense without making errors? Or does Heidelberg score a lot and also serve really well? Because I think they've got their 2 junior hitters back as well, which will make a pretty decent difference. The men? The
men's side opening us up at Maroondah. The other showcase game, this one's on court 1 though, the one with a bit more stands. We've got Maroondah versus Monash.
Is this a showcase game?
According to Volleyball Victoria, it is. Sorry, Cobras.
Throw some shade out there.
You are the youngest team
by far
on the men's side.
But hey, if you can make this...
Except for a couple of you.
Yeah, except for a couple of you. Yeah. Well, I think one of your senior players is on a honeymoon at the moment, so he actually won't be there.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
But Monash is one of the most experienced teams.
Yeah.
That's the side. Like a lot of them coming from different clubs, but they've gelled together well and immediately this year.
Most of them have probably played together at some stage or another, like through
This
AVL
might be... Oh, do you know, it's not. It's his second round. They've picked up a little Queenslander that played with us at Warrnambool. He'll be with them.
Yeah,
I want to see how their lineups keep shaking out because you have so many good players at the sticks, but you can't have 4 people on. Yeah. So do you go for high flyer or do you go for like your consistent players?
Or you just mix it up each set like what we do really.
Get a bit of variation.
Yeah.
Whoever's on.
I would love to see Cobras upset Monash in this one, low-key.
Please
just because Monash beat us in 5, I would love to see some spice.
Yeah. You can do it. You can hit some balls at the stick.
Me?
Yeah, right. No, the Cobras. You can't.
No, I can't.
Because the next match,
Is
12:30. Us versus Latrobe.
at SVC.
You're out, you loser.
So are you.
So am I. Leaked.
Yeah, leaked.
Leaked
Latrobe,
live on the thing.
Now you guys know that there's no opposites on the Renegades team.
I've already...
already told them?
I let one of
Wow.
them know because he's also coming back from an injury, a little bit of a knee issue, and we were like, I'll see before the season even started. I was like, see you round 4, and then I sent him a screenshot of like the match fixture of round 18, and I said, I'll see you there, and he goes, I'm not playing this weekend. I said, look again, it's round 18. I'm not
Is that
playing.
when we play them again?
Yeah, we play them last round of the season.
That's
so I was
funny.
like, I'll be there, but I'll hopefully not have to touch the court. I shouldn't.
No, well, you're also injured. So
Well,
like,
I could be a defensive sub. Let me on in the
We've
backcourt.
all seen you play defense, Alex. Come on.
And it hurts
Don't be
when
silly.
and it hurts when I push off.
Oh.
But this will be a really good game. I think it's going to be particularly good for us to see our depth.
Yeah, with
A younger player probably starting on the right side as well. Like, you have to see who steps up.
and we're still maybe missing our main pass hitter, maybe missing our main middle, and we're still missing our main setter.
Yeah.
So this is where we sort of flex our fingers and go, how much depth do we really have?
We've got it.
Yeah, we got it. We're fine.
I hope I don't have to eat my words next week. But Latrobe is a pretty good side. They're also young, maybe equally young with Cobras, maybe a bit older. They're all actually university students, but
new to the competition.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a different level of inexperience.
Yeah.
It's not just about like youth. It's about have you played at this level for as long and have felt the sustained pressure as like something.
can you match the tempo?
Yeah.
We'll try.
Next one is Yarra Eastside. I think this one has the potential to be pretty spicy just because both these teams can really start firing when they want to.
And Eastside's been pushing top teams to 5 setters. So,
Yeah. Only issue with this one is it's at Latrobe. It's at Churchill.
yeah.
So a bit of a drive for anyone that's spectating. But if you happen to be at that venue, definitely stick around and watch this one. It's at 2 p.m. This one will be interesting, I reckon. Next one, Mazenod Heidelberg. My thoughts and prayers are with Mazenod. I say this every week, and then
Just
someone
whoever's
ends up-
playing Heidelberg.
Yeah,
It's equality, all right? We're not putting anyone down.
We're putting
gassing
Heidelberg-
up Heidelberg.
Yeah, that's
okay,
really what
that
we're
it
doing.
is tough. But actually, Mazenod can maybe frustrate Heidelberg quite a bit if their lib keeps playing defense like he always does.
against us. Yeah,
Yeah, you can again, and how he went in round 2. Like you can maybe frustrate a Heidelberg player. I don't think they're as easily frustratable
No,
this
they've got
year.
too much
They've got a
depth
little
this
bit
year.
more versatility. So like,
Yeah.
you can stop one of their outsides, but you still have to deal with
the other four.
the
that are
other
on the
4
bench.
hitters. Five, you can count Parwan as the
As a
number
hitter,
one option. You
yeah.
know, if there's enough frustration,
He will just
turn
start
and
hitting,
burn
yeah.
and just play a fastball, and
Yeah.
that's probably one of the hardest matchups always. So
Yeah. So good luck. Again, we love to be proven wrong. Like if you guys get that win,
take them down the ladder for us.
What was the deal? It was whoever gets the win against Heidelberg, you guys get a 40-minute special episode on the history of your team.
History of your team, how you've done it. We'll do a deep dive. We'll come do
Yeah.
like the Last Dance documentary for you guys.
We'll
just
get the
for
camera
one
out.
matchup.
We'll get the camera out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a showcase game though at Maroondah.
No, it's at 2:30. 2:30
Yeah.
Maroondah. But if you're there, go and watch. It's always fun to go and watch just like watching the Heidelberg guys is interesting as well because they don't play Australian sort of volleyball. Like it's straight up just different volleyball.
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain it, but if you go and watch it, you'll understand pretty
Because
quick.
it is kind of like, I mean, they've actually probably steered away a little. They used to, when they first came, I feel like it was combo ball.
Yeah.
They haven't needed to do that as much as what they used to. But still, a lot of Australian teams default to like 2 things: middle or oppo. Like they're the 2 Australian systems: is oppo ball, middle ball.
Yeah.
But they are a crafty outside ball.
Yeah.
A middle with slide ball, like
and a power middle ball.
Yeah.
Like it's
so
it's weird. It's interesting. It's cool. It's actually now that they've got the bigger outsides, it's looking a little more European.
Yeah.
and it's kind of scary because European volleyball is like the best volleyball. So
Yeah.
Anyways, the only thing they don't have, and I don't think they'll ever resort to it, is pipe.
Yeah.
And they know that, but like until they come up against a team where they need a pipe, probably not an issue.
I mean, and they can pull it out here and there.
They do pull it out occasionally when they really need to, but yeah. Last match of the day, V Farm and Dandenong.
we'll see. Well, I
Yeah.
want to see V-Farm's been doing pretty competitive so far. Dandenong haven't found their feet yet. V-Farm beat Mazenod in a 5-setter, lost to Latrobe in a 5-setter. We'll see if they can just get one done quicker.
Yeah. There's a good chance for both these teams to mature out early on this season, get the win, get under the belt, and then just sort of keep building, keep progressing.
Yeah.
This is at SVC at 2:30. That's round 4. We're excited. Neither of us are playing.
Damn it.
Damn.
Who's listening to us?
I know, seriously.
We're out this week. Hopefully no one from Latrobe's listening to this on their drive. Oh, actually, hopefully they're only listening to it right before the Saturday morning. All right, so they don't get any time to prepare for zero right time.
They can't adjust their lineup or anything because it's too late.
Oh, I actually feel bad because I talked to a couple. Oh God, we're gonna try, mate. You're gonna actually play this week. You're gonna try hard this week because I've had a couple stinkers.
I'll try really hard and then just rock up and don't
plain
play.
clothes it.
Yeah. I was annoyingly excited to play this, but then, I can't play because of the schedule. Like I got to coach while we play. Annoyingly on the court next to us, I think. So I just
between, you know.
Well, I was thinking about getting my playing gear on. I'll warm up and then just go over and coach.
Yeah, then just
So we'll see. You'll see how I go with that one.
Can I come watch? Can I just float? I'm not doing anything. I can come watch.
You're gonna be there.
Yeah, I'll be there, but I'm not doing anything on the bench. I'll be a good bench teammate, but I'll definitely be peeking across to the women's court.
Yeah. Or you just turn your head.
Yeah. Just face that way the whole time.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening for today's episode. Hope to see you all at round 4. I'll be at Maroondah for the first half of the day, and then I'll be at SVC, and then I'll be back at Maroondah for the last half of the day.
Lovely. It's a lot of driving. I'll be at Maroondah to start the morning, and then
you can come back with me as well. You can just
I will not be doing that. Thank you. I'll be going home. Keep sending us videos, whatever.
Send us your storylines.
Send us your storylines.
Yeah. We all hope you had a good Easter too. We didn't have an episode last week. Yeah. That's why it was hard to remember like what actually happened.
What happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
With a little bit of rest. Everyone's got that probably the 4 or 5 days rest over the Easter weekend, but it does actually equal an extra training theoretically, like because you train pre-Easter.
Yeah.
And then this, so you have that break to maybe. I used it for my juniors as that extra week to, all right, we're going back to work on some fundamentals rather than having to specifically work on gameplay stuff. Which is always tough to find time for during the season.
But handy.
Yeah. Stop privating your match reports, on YouTube. Let me watch them.
Yeah, just make them public. Come on, guys. Please. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll see you all around 4. You can catch us on all of the social media platforms. I read them out every week and I don't really know why. Like everyone knows.
Everyone knows what they are. If we're not on it, tell us to be on it.
Yeah.
But
if you can find us.
If you can find us.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.